Welcome to another Guide You Outdoors video. Today we're hiking the 4 Pass Loop Trail. We plan to spend 4 or 5 nights out there, get over those passes, see some beautiful scenery, and what a start. Let's go. Wilderness is not just a matter of geography. It is a state of mind. It's the realization that you're entirely dependent upon your own resources. In a real wilderness, your smallest actions take on heightened significance. You not only feel differently, you learn to think differently. Roger Allen. I can tell already this hike's going to be harder than the last. It's super rocky on the feet, and I'm just gasping for air. So we'll just have to take it slow, take lots of snack breaks and water breaks, which is the way I like to hike. We found a nice campsite in this pine grove, and today it was hard to hike fast. It was so beautiful. Starting with 2 ponds and gorgeous mountain views, and you just follow this canyon up and up and up. And tomorrow we go over 2 passes, which should be exciting and strenuous on the knees. So far, day 1, super impressed. So we've come across this boulder area, and there's a bunch of these little squeaky, Furby looking rabbit without ears, and they're called pikas. And apparently they harvest all this grass, store it under the rocks, and live on that storage from all year round. Arriving at Maroon Pass, and you can see the trail in the scree moving up horizontally towards the left. So a dicey trail at elevation when you're kind of dizzy. Take it slow and steady. This is so beautiful, but let's not forget the uphill and the sweat that it took to get here. It's amazing how from one valley to another, it's so different. There's some mountain lion scat. I love hiking when it's rewarding. We're here at Frigid Air Pass. There's not much wind or frigid air, but it's cool that there's life up here. We just saw a marmot squeaking at us as we came up. We are heading down this valley and into that pine grove to find some good camping. I hear a river down there, but we want to move because it's getting a little on the late side, and anytime in the Rockies a storm can roll in, and that all is very exposed. So something to think about when you're doing these high passes. Don't just get lost in the beauty and get your camera out and start talking and rambling whilst Climbing is not a battle with the elements, nor against the law of gravity. It's a battle against oneself. The mountains have rules. They are harsh rules, but they are there, and if you keep to them, you are safe. A mountain is not like people. A mountain is sincere. The weapons to conquer it exist inside you, inside your soul. Walter Benatti. The stove I brought with me today is the MSR XGK2 Shaker. It's a great stove because it burns almost anything, from Coleman fuel, white gas, kerosene, to your car engine fuel. Here I'm using Coleman fuel. Another great feature of this stove is that you can pressurize it, so it's great for cold weather and altitude. Some assembly required, but it's pretty simple once somebody walks you through it. So that's why I'm going to do it. Just insert my pump. I'm going to screw this in pretty tight, make sure this is off, and give it about 20 pumps, maybe 5 more since we're at 11,000 feet. Now I just slide it onto this piece and close this door. Okay, so now on this thumb screw, I'm just going to open it up until I see fuel enter this tray, and then turn it totally off, and then light it. Now what we're doing is preheating our stove. We're getting this generator tube so hot where the fuel goes through that it vaporizes. It's starting to die down. Now I can start turning the thumb screw to the on position, but no more than 3 turns. Every now and then you'll have to pump it 5 times to repressurize it, but great stove, some assembly required. But once you know how to use it, it's pretty flawless. Okay, so while that's cooking, let's talk about the bare vault. Now this one is a screw top, and you have to press in really hard to get past the gate. And once you get the hang of it, it's kind of easy, but on those cold mornings, super hard. The other canisters have things you stick a quarter in or a rock, and you have to turn these rivets out. I'm not a big fan. I get it, they're idiot-proof. Anybody can just come in and put their food in one. This is heavy, and once you keep eating, the size doesn't get smaller. And this is their biggest size. Once you go bigger, it's carbon fiber and really expensive. To start, I still was throwing up a bear bag because I had to hang Summit's food, my toothbrush and toothpaste, the pan that I was cooking in. So 4 days backpacking, it's going to be a really tight fit. I like to eat well, and this is, unfortunately, has let me down. But rules are rules, and we got to follow them. So good. Thanks for doing the dishes, Summit. That was a big help. Hey, you missed some. Summit, you missed some. Come here. On that. That's why we wear our hunting orange. Right, Sam? We're meeting a lot of other hikers in here, and some of them are destroying this trail and doing it in 2 days, one overnight, and some are turning around and are full of excuses. It's really important to know your body and know what terrain you're going up against. Looking at a map like this, I like to plan a bunch of exits and a bunch of alternatives, not just have one set schedule. If you live in a city and do a lot of walking and think you're fit, altitude and incline will destroy you. We're way out in the backcountry. If you get injured out here, there's no hospital within an hour. So I highly recommend that you get wilderness first responder or at least wilderness first aid. Also bringing a day's extra food, just in case you do get an injury, or maybe it's just a beautiful spot and you want to spend the day there. We have one pass to go over today to Snowmass Lake, which I hear is beautiful. So let's get rolling. It's a little steep there, eh? With no footholds. for a little homemade snack. What we have here is fruit leather. And we made this at home with just some applesauce and a dehydrator. Usually your dehydrator comes with one tray that is meant for making fruit leather. So to make the rest on all the layers, I just use parchment paper, oil them down, and spread the applesauce on the parchment paper. Just cut it to fit the circle. Yeah, look at that. Yummy. There you go, homemade fruit leathers. Great backpacking snack. We're gonna have lunch at this pond. Water pooch. On this hike we're treating our water a little differently. We've got Aqua Mira, an A and a B. So it's 8 drops per liter each. So we're gonna put 12 because we got a liter and a half here. Let it sit 5 minutes. It'll turn yellow, smell like chlorine. And then just dump it in your Nalgene. And you have to wait about a half hour for it to kill everything. Then you're good to go. Switchback City. You find yourself alone, finally freed from all reminders of civilization, encountering and maybe beginning to understand the rhythms of nature itself. As you camp beside a mountain lake and wander its shores, peer under its banks, sit on its boulders and stare at the slowly changing colors in the water, you begin to conceive of yourself once again as a natural being, a single pure note in the harmony surrounding you. The sound of your own breath will become the sound of the wind. The lap of the water will keep time with the pulse of your blood, and you'll know why you went through all the effort to get there, and you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Home again for the first time. Today was a great day, but it was a long day to Snowmass Lake here, and our knees are definitely feeling it. We're really earning the views, and I'm finding myself struggling on the mental game on the ways up, just out of breath and exhausted to every bone. But it's a mental game, you know. We wake up cold, that's starts us spinning. We get going, our knees don't feel so good. We get spinning more. We see an uphill that goes beyond the eye, and you gotta stop yourself from spinning and say, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing right now. A lot of people ask us at Guide You Outdoors, what should I bring on a hike? And I always answer, a strong mental game. Pretty spectacular Beaver Dam at altitude. Holding about 4 to 5 feet of water back, beavers can really create their own habitat. Imagine this 20-foot wide stream right here, and this beaver dams it up and creates this huge pond now. And what beavers do is they eat the bark of trees, and they down trees all around the edge of this pond now, and they chew off the limbs, and they take the limbs and stick them in the mud. So when this ice is over, they can exit out of their beaver lodge into the water, go down, grab a tasty snack, bring it back, add it to its home, and that's why they call them busy beavers. They're constantly at work. We're wrapping up the 4-pass loop around the Maroon Bells here, right in my background. And it's been one of the most beautiful hikes I've done, but it's also been one of the most difficult. We've gained 7,000 feet of elevation, 7,000 plus, and that means we've lost 7,000 plus elevation. So it really runs a clinic on your knees. We did this trail going clockwise and we spent 3 nights, 4 days. Finally, here we are at Buckskin Pass. So I would recommend this way if you don't have seasoned trail legs and want to break up the mileage, I mean, this trail is so beautiful. Why rush it? I hope you enjoyed this video. Get out there and hike, be smart about it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Damn.